Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Sober Spartan podcast. So, I'm your host, Andrew Nichols, and I'm here to share tips, tricks, and insights that I've learned over my decade of sobriety in hopes to help you get sober and to stay sober. Today in this episode, I want to talk about getting a morning and evening routine in place to help you with your sobriety. So, a structured routine, it's going to stabilize you, it'll reduce stress. It's going to improve your mood and it's going to remove unnecessary friction in your life because if you listen to this podcast for any amount of time, you're going to know I'm a very big fan of reducing unnecessary friction. That way we can more easily do the things that we're planning on doing, like whether it's setting a goal and doing it or whatever the case may be, because getting sober isn't easy. It's simple what you need to do, but it's not easy. So I want to take away that friction with different tips and tricks and stuff like that to be able to more easily stay sober. Because I know over my 10 years, I've seen people cause a lot of problems for themselves with not keeping things simple and kind of having that added friction where it didn't need to be any. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that today. And I was kind of thinking like, because as I was going through my routine today, I was like thinking like, how long did it take me to actually get to this? Because like you're gonna find that different things will work for different people. So you're not gonna just create a routine and then do it and then continue with it. You're gonna constantly be developing different things. And you'll probably hear when people are talking about routines, some people I've heard talk about it, go over this super long, elaborate routine. You don't need to do that. You just need something to set yourself up for the day to make sure you're getting off on the right foot and then for when you're ending your day, so you have a predictable end to your day to like wrap things up and kind of wind down and that kind of thing. First, we'll go over the morning routine. And so, when you're thinking about setting a routine, the first thing you're going to want to do, and this is the easiest part about it, or it's probably hard to stick to it because I know when I was first getting sober, I didn't have any sort of routine. I was kind of shooting from the hip, um, like especially with like my morning wake up time and my evening sleep time. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to sit down and kind of think about, okay, what time could I wake up consistently every single day, 7 days a week, where I'm not going to be overly tired. I'm going to be able to get enough rest. I'm going to be able to wake up at a decent time to be able to get shit done to get my day started, right? So you're going to want to pick a time you wake up every day, and you want to keep that consistent. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pick a bedtime. So same thing. You want to pick a consistent bedtime that you go to bed every single day and gives you enough time to be able to fall asleep and then get your sleep because you're going to want to get between 6 and 8 hours. That's another thing that it's going to be different with different people. Some people need more. Typically, women need more sleep than men. I've kind of found my sweet spot between the 6 and 7 hour range. So I make sure to set my sleep time and wake time to be able to get at least 6 to 7 hours. So that's what you're going to want to do. It's another thing that's really helpful with setting that time is it's going to set your circadian rhythm. And what the circadian rhythm is it's something that regulates your sleep cycle. So if you have that in place, you're waking up at the same time every day, you're going to bed at the same time every night, you're going to regulate your sleep cycle with set your circadian rhythm, and you're going to be able to have a better sleep. You're going to be able to fall asleep quicker, and you're going to be able to wake up and not feel as groggy when you get up in the morning. Because I don't know about you, but lots of times in the morning I'm like super groggy, stuff like that, and I always force myself to get out of bed right away. I don't just lay there and shit like that. But you're gonna have to try different shit and see kind of what works with you, right? So that's just what it is. It's all about like just with anything I found, especially with like health, fitness, sleep, diet, all that kind of stuff. Um, it's not going to be the same for everyone. It's like I know some people that sleep 10 hours and they're doing great. And I know some people who can sleep like 5 hours and it doesn't seem to affect them. Right. So again, you're just going to have to pick shit that works for you. And it's going to take a bunch of development because I know over my last 10 years, I didn't even start doing this for a couple of years in before I set my bedtime and stuff like that, because I really got a deep dive into my health and all that kind of stuff. So I ended up figuring out different things that would help me get better sleeps. And I was a commercial crab fisherman, so we didn't have the luxury of being able to pick a designated sleep time or a designated wake time. It was just like random. So I think that was part of my problem too. I wasn't able to set those times. And then when I came home and I was off for like a month, maybe two, some years, I also, again, I didn't set the times. I just kind of shot from the hip, and just when I felt like going to bed, I just went to bed. So it could be 10 o'clock, it could be 12, 1 o'clock, whatever. Whenever, if I was tired, I might go to bed a little bit earlier, and then I just wake up. I wouldn't even set an alarm. I just wake up when I woke up. So sometimes it would be early. I'd wake up super early, and then sometimes it wouldn't be, and I'd sleep in later in the day. So anyways, I'll kind of give you an example of what my day looks like, just so then you can go about and have like I think it's when I'm trying to put stuff like this together, I was looking at other people and to get an example of a place to start, because you might not even know where to start. So once you set your wake up time, you can start develop different things to like get you set up for your day and put you in the best possible position to have a good day, right? So what I do is I wake up at 4:20 every morning. No, I'm not a pothead. I'm not a Hitler fanatic, anything like that. It's just 4:20. That's a perfect time for me to get up, to have my routine play out, and then do what I need to do by certain times, right? So I wake up at 4:20. I get all my shit together, get my shoes on, and the first thing I do is I go and walk my dog. So by the time I leave the house, it's 4:30, and I'll go for a half-hour walk, and it's pretty much on the dot every single day because I have specific routes that I go. Sometimes it changes up a little bit, but pretty much it's the same route. So I go walk my dog. I come back to the house. I let my dog out. He wants to go play in the backyard for a bit while I do this. Sometimes he comes down and lays down in my gym because I've got a home gym. So I don't have a commute, anything like that, because that's what I do when I get back. I'll go to the gym right away, and usually I'll be in there. And by the time I get my shoes on, get my gym shit on, my shorts, all that kind of stuff, it'll be 5 o'clock on the dot. And then this will change sometimes. Or depends what I'm doing in the week. Like if it's a running day, typically I don't run right in the morning. I go for my walk, I come home, and then I just get right into like, usually I'll read in the morning, and because I like to study and work my mind muscle right away in the morning if I can with my coffee. So I'll do that if it's a running day. Sometimes I might have like specific tasks I need to get done right away, so then I won't go to the gym. I'll jump right into work or whatever the case may be. Because right now I'm doing a digital marketing management class. So I might have a little bit of more work I need to get done before the class starts for the day. So it might look a little bit different, but typically I do go to the gym first thing, 5:30 or 5 o'clock a.m. And then after that, obviously I'll shower. I have a shower right next to my gym, which is nice. Get my shower in so I don't stink. And then I go right into breakfast. So usually I'll have an easy breakfast. Like, again, if you're following me for a long time, I pretty much eat only meat. So I'll have a ribeye steak for myself. Depends how hungry I am. So I might have some eggs with it too. But usually I'll just have a steak, fry that up. I'll usually be listening to a podcast, something like that. Then I'll clean up. And then by the time that's done, and it's a little bit different every day, depending on the cleanup, if I need to empty the dishwasher, all that kind of stuff. But I'll usually be into my office by 7:30. And so when I first get into my office, I'll open up my laptop, check my calendar, see what types of things I need to do for the day. If there's anything pressing that I need to get to right away or not, I'll definitely want to set my attention for the day, like what I intend to do for the day. So an example of that would be, say I was like getting distracted too easily or something like that, then my intention for the day would be like, okay, I intend to focus on the work that I'm doing for the day or something like that, right? So I'll set the intention, and then I'm going to want to review my goals. I review my goals 3 times a day. So once in the morning, another time in the afternoon, and then another time in the evening. I think that's really important because if you're able to focus on your goals, you'll be able to progress to them even more. And then I'm going to get my reading in, my worked out mind muscle, like I was talking about before. And usually I'll spend 30 minutes to about an hour. And the whole time won't be reading specifically. So if I'm reading through a book, Again, this is another thing that I talk about a lot is you want to put things in action that you're learning. Otherwise, what the hell is the point of it, right? So a lot of times I'll be doing a lot of writing, note taking. Like a book I'm reading right now is Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. And so while I'm working through that, he talks a lot about hiring different people for your business to outsource different tasks that you have for the business. And so he talks about different standard operating procedures, SOPs, to put together to be able to give to someone you're hiring in your team, and have a process to follow, and kind of like different templates and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm building out those templates in like a Google Doc, while I'm reading along with the book, and I'm taking notes, that kind of thing. And I like to leave a little bit of time at the end. Like I read the book, put the stuff into play, and then I like to review any notes that I had, maybe think back and like, okay, what did I learn? So that way it consolidates my learning a little bit better. And then after that, usually I'll just jump into my day. That's my morning routine. It's just some certain things that get me going for the day. Like I like to work out because that gets the blood flowing and that gives me energy for the day. And then I find if I put working out later on, sometimes it doesn't get done because then I get all these things that I need to get done, and then I just kind of push it off, right? But if I get it out of the way first thing in the morning, I get like all energized, pumped up, I'm ready to go, and it's out of the way. Because for me, I prioritize my health, right? So I want to make sure that I'm getting that in. And then so for the evening work or evening routine, same type of thing, set your bedtime. And then so you want to be able to get all the stuff that you plan for like a wind down, stuff like that, to be able to fit it in before you actually like lie down to go to bed. And so usually the way my evening routine starts is because typically I'll be in bed by 8:30 or 9. I shoot for wanting to be lying down with my head on the pillow for 8:30. But the way it starts is at 7:30 p.m. I'm going to plan my next day. I'm going to review my goals, and then I'm going to reflect on the day that I had, right? So the reflection, some of the questions that I ask myself is I'll ask myself what went well. So I'll put down what went well. I'll start the reflection on a good note, on something positive, and then it'll move into what didn't go well. And then okay, what did I do today that didn't go so well? So I'll write all that stuff down, anything that comes to mind. And then the next question is, how can I improve for tomorrow? So if something didn't go well, I can go and think through like, okay, how can I change it? So what didn't go well today will be better tomorrow. And even if it's just an incremental improvement or something like that, at least I know like where I'm kind of struggling. And then I can turn that around and show up better the next day, right? And then if you keep doing this, it kind of starts to compound. And so that'll usually take me to about 8 p.m. And so what I do is, because I don't drink tap water, I'm not like, I just don't drink tap water. So I have one of those big water bottles that I fill with those big giant 18-liter water jugs. And then so I'll fill my liter bottles. I have two 1-liter bottles that I fill up and make sure they're ready to go the next day, because usually I'll drink 3 liters of water per day. So I'll drink those two and I'll fill another one up later in the day, to make sure I'm getting my water in, because that's another thing, you want to make sure you're hydrated. So I'll fill those up, and then I have my Keurig. I'm going to make sure that's topped up, because usually I'll have 2-3 cups of coffee a day, so I don't have to mess around the next day with that. And I just know that I'll have enough water in there. I don't need to, I mean, doesn't take long, but it's just, if I'm just boom, 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 going through my day, right? I don't want to have to stop and say, oh, fuck, well, I guess I'll fill it now, right? So again, it's just setting myself up so there's like the less friction. So I don't have to think about any of that shit, right? And so after I do that, it takes about 10 minutes, something like that. I'll take out my meat for the day. So obviously my steak for the morning, and then whatever I'm going to have for dinner. Sometimes I'll have leftovers, so I don't need to worry about it. Make sure that's covered. And then I'll start getting ready for bed. So I'll do the normal shit, like brush my teeth, all that kind of stuff. And then I go through I have like a power list of tasks that need to get done for the day. So I make sure that everything's done on there, and all those tasks are non-negotiable. I have to do them every single day. So I make sure those are done. I tick them off if they need to be ticked off. Then I go right into gratitude. So I think about, what am I grateful for today? And it's going to be a little bit different each day. Sometimes you'll see different things that you're going to be grateful for multiple times in a day. There's no wrong way to do it. It's just, you got to sit there and actually just like think to yourself, like, yeah, I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for the sun. I'm grateful for, maybe you're grateful for the rain, which I was the other day, because we get some fires up where I live. So it's good to get some rain around this time of year to kind of help with those fires and stuff like that. So yeah, just got to have your gratitude. And some people like to do it in the morning. I like to do it right before I go to bed. So I do that. And then once that's out of the way, then I literally just lay down and I go to bed. And that's pretty much that, right? So again, that's just for an example, so you can kind of get an idea of different things you might be able to incorporate. And then you're not going to want to incorporate everything, right? Because you're going to be different depending on what you're doing, your job, where you are in your life, if you have a family, stuff like that. I don't have a family, anything like that. I have my animals and stuff like that. So my routine's going to look different, right? But what I would say to you is, bare minimum, just to start, get your wake up time consistently 7 days a week, and get your sleep time consistent 7 days a week, and just start there. And then you kind of develop how you want things to go. Because like, what I've found is, if I wake up and I didn't plan the night before, or I don't have like a set routine that I typically follow, I kind of wake up and I'm a bit aimless. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I find I drag my feet a little bit more. If I have stuff that I know I'm going to do and I don't need to think about it, that's just less mental resistance for yourself. You're going to be less, use your mind less, and you're going to have more capacity to be able to think about other things, right? So I just get up and I don't have to worry about anything, because I'm like, okay, this needs to be done. I roll through it, and you're going to notice too, you're going to get better sleeps. Your mood's going to get a lot better, all that kind of thing. And then like, when it comes to sobriety, like, I found that if you're able to focus on other things, because I know it's not so bad anymore that I've been sober 10 years, but in the beginning, like, it was still even hard when different problems came up in my life, stuff like that, and I didn't have anything else to focus on. I would always be thinking about the booze, or like, oh, I need a drink, something bad happened, whatever. But I found if you have like a routine, a set routine, stuff like that, it gives you a different area to kind of focus on, especially in the beginning. Because in the beginning, this is going to be something you're going to develop, right? So you have to put a little bit of attention on it, right? So anyways, that's kind of how I go about putting together a routine, what my routine looks like, stuff like that. So if this helped you, just let me know. I kind of want to be doing different content and stuff like that for people, so people can use it. Because again, take action, at least do something towards this, and then you can even do your own research. I'm a big component of people doing their own research with stuff. You can go down some rabbit holes with this. Like, there's lots of good people that talk about all the stuff that I'm talking about, right? This isn't just shit I made up, right? It's stuff that I've gotten from credible people over my whole time being sober, and then putting this stuff into action. Okay, so don't just trust my word. You can go out and check it out, and like, make sure that like, this is the way to do it, right? But I found that it's really helpful for me. So if you liked it, just let me know, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Like and follow, share this with other people that might need it too. And yeah, so that's that episode, and I will see you next week on the next one.